Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, is tuning in through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could join us as well. But you guys know I love books, and I also like those who write them, and so does our next guest. We're excited to welcome Candace Semien to our program today. Candace is the founder of Jozef Syndicate. We're going to talk to her not only about what Jozef Syndicate has been able to do. I've known her now for years, but also something brand new for them in 2022, that being their Creators Calendar. It's a great marriage of things for authors as well as being connected with opportunities. We'll talk to Candace about how it all came about and how you all can benefit from it. Candace, hello to you and welcome to Conversations Live.
Hi, Cyrus. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, the pleasure's definitely all mine. I should let our listening audience know that Candace and I have met in person one time when I was actually in Louisiana. I asked her for an interview, and she's one of the very few people who turned me down. However, I'm not going to bring up the past because I try to be forward-thinking, Candace. and now here you are on the radio side of our platform. So, Candace, I want to first of all say something to you personally. For our radio audience, I have admired your work for quite some time. You are a very passionate yet elusive person, and you have done so much, I think, to help to promote others. You've introduced me to creatives. What has that experience been like for you, Candace, to be able to be a connector in this industry and to be able to create opportunities for others?
Oh, Cyrus, it has been amazing. You know, for a few times do you talk with people who just don't get an opportunity to see their purpose and kind of live the life that they really feel like they're here to do. And this has been genuinely a space for me that allows me to be an enhancer of others creatively, even going back to college. When we very first began doing literary journals and giving poets and artists an opportunity to get published on a small scale before they moved into the larger industry. So it has been phenomenal, and I'm so grateful to be in this space at this time.
Yeah. Well, I think the great thing about you, Candace, is your genuine interest in others and their success. Where do you think that comes from?
I think that's all culture. That's culture, that's family, that's rearing, that's church. You know, that's just the life that I've been blessed to be a part of from my parents rearing us, that, you know, you care for others, and especially when you have an opportunity to make room for others to be their best selves, you make room for them, and you congratulate them, and you celebrate them in the process.
And now here you are, as I mentioned, in 2022, starting something brand new, that being the Creators Calendar. Before we get into exactly what it is, have you always known that you wanted to create a place, Candace, where the creative community, especially writers and authors, could be able to kind of stay connected with opportunities?
Yes, so that's kind of the impetus of it all. In college, where you had your poetry night, and we were in the Mocha Room at Southern University, and it was the platform for poets to come out, and it was then what's next? What do you do after you've done the work and you've created the poem, the prose, the painting, any of that? What do you do next? Then it became, let us help find the opportunity for you to let the world see that. So it was, you know, kind of person to person. How do we introduce this person to the right market, to the right literary journal? How do we help them perfect their craft? How do we help them publish their first book, self-publish, vanity publish, or even connect with a literary agent? And then now it's just like, what tools, thanks to technology, what tools can we give them so that you can go from that writing space and that creative space to being published, to winning contests, to standing in front of audiences and presenting your work. So now we're able to create a tool where at first it was, let me help you create your craft and perfect what is the most imaginative space that you're in. And then it became, you know, let's get you published either internally, self-publishing or connect you with magazines. And then now it is, let's make sure that they have the tools that they can stay in publishing and they can just kind of enjoy this lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a great thing to be able to do. And I think, too, quite honestly, and we don't like to talk about this, but it needs to be said, Candace, unfortunately not everyone wants to see other people have opportunities, right? There are some people who believe that, hey, in order for me to make it, that means you're on your own. If I know about something, hey, you're not going to know. I remember when I started in this industry 19 years ago, people did not want to share opportunities or let you know about events where you could do interviews, so that was one of those things. How much of that played a role in this for you, Candace? Seeing so many people frustrated by the process.
Oh my goodness, that is such a valid point, Cyrus. That is a huge soapbox. We sit on opportunities, we don't share, and then not only that, they wouldn't share it with you, and then they would also not take advantage of the opportunities themselves. So nobody won. So this, that kind of gave fuel to this. We know of opportunities. I would text people or message them and say, hey, here's an opportunity for a children's book author. Well, I'm still in manuscript form. They're looking for unpublished manuscripts. And then it became that they were a bit fearful in taking advantage of those opportunities. So then we got in that motivation space, right, to say, hey, come on, you could do this. I've read your work. I know you're not ready for us to help you publish, or you're not ready to invest in Jozef Syndicate doing our work with you, but here's still an opportunity for you to submit your poem. It's 5 poems. You could win $100. There's no entry fee, and it's those small wins that would get them to actually get to that chapbook or completely publish an anthology or a memoir. But, to answer your question, that was a fuel for us that so many people were not sharing it, and we are willing to share it. We're curating opportunities around the world. We're also sharing on the calendar things like World Book Day and Read Across America, and it's Women's History Month, and, even things like Ice Cream Day, because you never know when there's an opportunity for an author or an artist to just kind of showcase their work in connection to the days of the week, right? Yeah. So when we find that so many people wanted to move forward, but they didn't know where, and we knew of opportunities, we wanted to share it. And so we've created this listing on our website, so you can download the list, and it's a digital download, and we will also show you how to customize it. So let's say you see 10 opportunities that you want to take advantage of. Maybe it's a contest, maybe it's a fellowship. It can even be a residency. And we'll show you that use this column to write your personal notes. And it's yours. It's on your computer. We don't want it back. And we also have an interactive calendar that will sync to your phone or sync to your computer, whatever calendar device you use. And when we update the opportunities, it comes to your phone. So you never even have to talk to us. You can just move forward with, hey, there's the Alabama Book Festival, the Mississippi Book Festival. I want to be ready. It's a month and a half away. Now I can do it because I have the Creators Calendar. And that was the goal.
Right. Yeah. And we're going to talk more about that, Candace. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. Candace Semien is our guest today. We're talking to Candace not only about the work she's been able to do with Jozef Syndicate, but also what it's been like for her now in 2022 to launch a brand new product and service called the Creators Calendar. We're going to let you guys know you can be able to get this for yourself and stay connected with the updates. I want to talk about stepping out for a second about what you've built with Jozef Syndicate and being able to launch new products, because, for entrepreneurs, this process is not an easy one. Having the idea, I tell people, is a lot of times the easiest thing. The execution of it, mentally preparing for the execution is sometimes problems, and for others, the actual executing. What was this experience like for you to be on this end? Because now here you are out front and center, Miss Candace Semien, doing interviews and talking about this product. What has this side of this been like for you?
Terrifying. Terrifying, Cyrus. This is a huge undertaking, and it is one that is not, thank God, it is not weighted. It is a light but heavy undertaking. The thing is just knowing that this is a solution. So when you have that product and you know that it will help, that makes it very different for us. Because when I tell you to have an author and we share an opportunity with the unpublished, right? They've only written 4 or 5 short stories. And it's like, look, this is a great opportunity. Why don't you go ahead and submit to this magazine or this literary journal? And then in 3 weeks they call you and say, look, I'm published. That's exciting. So this side of going from a service to a product, it has definitely been a testing of learning new skill sets and learning my own strength that helps kind of be more courageous and know and assured in knowing that this product, this creative calendar, will help so many creatives. And when I say that, I'm talking teenagers, we're talking adults who have never published before, never thought about publishing before, artists, illustrators, photographers. I mean, there's so many opportunities in what we're offering in this Creators Calendar.
Yeah. Well, I think I have to say, when you first told me about it, Candace, I said to myself, I didn't say it to you, she has to really believe in this for her to be willing to get out front and center. Because, as I mentioned earlier, even though I'm not bringing it up, she didn't give me an interview when I asked her. I was literally in front of her face. But she didn't give me an interview then. But I'm not bringing that up, Candace. I'm not.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
I'm not bringing it up. But I said to myself, she must really believe in this for her to be willing to get out front and to really talk about this. So I was excited the Conversations Media Group gets to help spread the word. So if people, there's 2 things I want to ask you about, and one just came to me actually. So what I just thought about, Candace, is you're going to be once again a connector in a different way. For one,
yes.
Of course, about the writer, the creative, and then the author who may be looking for opportunities, but also for those contests, for those event planners who have an events. What has that been like for you to kind of be able to connect on both ends?
That's the synchronicity of it that we had not anticipated, because then once the word kind of got out that we were looking for these opportunities, more came to us. And then we are able to ask events pertinent questions that I think some of the authors and the participants would not ask. So we get to ask questions about disability accessibility, like how are you taking care of the disabled author who comes, and we can put that in the calendar. So when you go into the calendar and you synchronize it, you will see in the notes, we put details in the notes that we've curated, that we found valuable. And we make sure that you know that there's a fee associated and that this particular event requires you to notify them a month in advance if you have any type of particular dietary needs. And no, it's been great to be able to facilitate that. And then again, to come back and whisper in that author's ear, you can do this. You can submit, you can win, you can get published, you can get on the platform in front of the audience that you want. And because, of my personality, that audience may just be 4 people or maybe 400 people. But,
right.
the calendar allows them for that. And I will go back to when we did see one another for the interview. The idea, again, was to connect you with some of the more creative, inspirational people who were in Baton Rouge, and I think you had a great spectrum of interviewees that day. I think you may have knocked out 5 different people, but for me, and just like with this calendar, it was connecting them to Cyrus, because that meant they would have other opportunities. So the calendar is just kind of the physical manifestation of that desire to connect the creatives with those opportunities.
Love it. And you did, and I have to say to our audience, I didn't mention that part. Of course, that's what we do. We don't mention what she did do. I just mentioned the fact that I asked her for an interview and she didn't give me one. Not that I'm bringing that up, but she did connect with other people who did give me interviews. They did. So I appreciate that, Candace. That was very kind of you. So
and we had
I got
great
the email
time.
I got the email on February 22nd of 2022 about Creators Calendar. What was that like for you to send that email out?
It was, wow. I said terrifying because I think that's the best way to describe it. It was definitely a huge faith step because, you know, we initially wanted to have 1,000 opportunities ready. And we had not heard back from several hundred events because of COVID, right? And because they, too, don't know what they will offer for 2022 or 2023. So our numbers were drastically lower. We were literally at 260 some odd opportunities, but we had already decided that 222 would be our day. And on that Tuesday, February 22nd, we made sure to offer 222 listings that you can go in now. These are not post-dated. This is all upcoming opportunities for you. And so we sent out the email at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:22 a.m. We're now posting every day at 2:22 just to kind of keep that momentum. And I think it helps keep us encouraged and engaged in finding new opportunities. But it's scary. I did not realize that it would be scary, but it is. But again, it goes back to knowing that this will help. And even if they only download this one set of 222 opportunities and they never download another set, that there are opportunities in there where they can get a book contract and $10,000. They can do a fellowship in Alaska. Parents can do a writing retreat for a children's book in Iowa. I mean, there's so many opportunities there for teenagers, for young poets. And I can say that confidently, but when we sent out that email, you know, I was trembling. I was like, okay, we're going to make this happen, and we're going to see. I think when I reached out to you, I may have hung up and just kind of sat in shock because I am going to be talking on Cyrus Webb's Conversations Live platform, and to me that is magnanimous, and I'm so honored to be able to do it with you. But I know that was so far out my comfort zone.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. It is a pleasure being able to have this time to be able to connect with you, Candace, and to help spread the word, not only through Conversations Live radio show. Candace is also going to be featured in some of the coming issues of Conversations, the magazine as well, about the Creators Calendar as well. So let's kind of walk our audience through the process here, Candace. So we have people out there in two categories now, right? One, maybe actual event planners who are looking to get the word out about their upcoming events or contests, that kind of thing. And we have those who are writers, creatives, authors who are looking for opportunities. Where should they go to start?
They definitely should follow us on all social media as Jozef Syndicate, and that's Jozef, so it's spelled phonetically, Jozef Syndicate. And they can also go to our website, www.jozefsyndicate.com. And on the site, they'll see our Creators Calendar. They can go in and we explain, and maybe in more detail than they would like, but we explain the process of receiving the digital download and then connecting to the interactive calendar, which is, to me, genius, because once you're connected, as I update, your calendar will update as well. And those who want to share events, they can also email directly from the website, or they can even direct message us through social media, and we'll include them.
Awesome. So, again, follow you on social media at Jozef Syndicate, and then going to the website, jozefsyndicate.com. Again, we'll make sure that we link that up for our online audience to make it easy for you all to be able to get it. For those who are joining us on WYAD, I'll make sure that it's put on the Facebook page for you all to be able to go there to the website. But there they can go. And the cost and everything, Candace, is there on the site as well?
Yes, but, you know, we launched on 2/22, and the cost is $22.
Okay, $22. So, and that's good for the year?
Well, that's good until March 22nd, and at that time, we will have doubled our numbers of opportunities in the calendar, and we'll be working with feedback from all of our purchasers, and especially, Cyrus, I do want to make mention that we also often get tools that we only know how to use on the surface. So once they make the digital download and they connect to the calendar, we send to them videos, really short videos, to show them how they can customize the calendar for what their goals are. So right now we're pushing that you polish your work, you perfect your work, and then you plan on how you're going to submit so you can win these contests and you can also get published.
Love that. Some great information. Again, everyone, Candace Semien has been our guest, the founder of Jozef Syndicate, talking with us about the great work they've been able to do. And now in 2022, the launch of their Creators Calendar that is perfect for you all to connect you with opportunities to be able to get seen, heard, and also, of course, to be able to network as well. Make sure you guys go to the website again. It's jozefsyndicate.com. We'll link that again for our online audience that are tuning in. Candace, so glad to have this time to speak with you. Thank you so much for the time.
No, Cyrus, thank you. It's so much my pleasure.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.